Like to say, all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Bashim Hakadosh, double honor to Pastor El's great millstone that taught me this 100% truth that will well. Salutations to the y'all came out there pushing this truth in all sincerity on highways and byways and risking their lives to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered on the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth of Yahweh, Bashim Shai, Shabbat Shalom. This is an article by Yahoo News, and the name of the article is Politician who allegedly said all white men should have black slave is suspended. It is like it reads. It is nothing wrong with the skin color. It is just they're lower class than us white people. You know, added a recorded man said to be Andrew Edwards, a Pembrokeshire County council member, and you know how this devil makes it. He tries to make it a into a thing of skin color, but and then he says we're a lesser people, but the Lord said, we're a peculiar people above all nations, you know what I'm saying? So we're the nation that's chosen by the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, over all other nations. So how can we be lower? You know what I'm saying? But that's what this devil does, that's his part of his blessing, his deception, you know what I'm saying? He was allowed to come out and deceive the world, to deceive the nations, you know what I'm saying, after, his fall, after a thousand years, you know what I'm saying? When he fell, you know what I'm saying? When he came back to, when the devil was least, or Satan was least, you know, um, back into the world, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil in the flesh, he was released to deceive the nations, and this is what he's done, you know? But let's read on. The Conservative Party in Britain suspended a politician over a recording allegedly to be of him suggesting that all white men own enslaved black people, which is, hit the right spirit for him to be in, because, you know, this is his kingdom, and in your kingdom to truly be blessed is to have servants. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord says, ask of me and I should give thee the heathen as an inheritance, because in our kingdom there's going to be servitude. All the heathen nations that, did, wickedly or, unrighteously to us, you know what I'm saying? What the Lord has scattered us into into our, these lands of captivities, all these nations that, had us in captivity, Ham, the so-called, uh, you know, um, which they call Africans today, the Hamites or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Ishmael, you know what I'm saying, the Arabics, whatever, they're gonna, have to pay too for what they've done to the nation of Israel. They enslaved us, so we're gonna enslave them as well. You know what I'm saying? But Esau Edom is gonna get the blunt of it, because he's our number one enemy, our arch nemesis, and he's Satan in the flesh, the Lord's adversary. You know what I'm saying? So he's completely against the Lord and his people. So he's gonna have to pay all of what this devil did. He's gonna have to pay for it. So he's going into servitude, you know, when his kingdom falls or whatnot. And this devil, he knows that, what I'm saying, that this is over. You know what I'm saying? But the truth of the matter is, he's been, stripped of his blessing by his own people, the elites. You know what I'm saying? Of this world. Esau Edom, so-called white man, in the banking industry. You know what I'm saying? These Rothschilds, the Tupacs, the true elites of the world. You know what I'm saying? They have the perpetual hatred for the nation of Israel so deeply that, what I'm saying, they rob their own people and enslave them as well. You know what I'm saying? That's why this devil, he going to, bring upon, his RFID chip mark of the beast, which is already here, but he's going to force implement it pretty soon. That's coming down with great wrath. He's going to, put this digital or this mark, what I'm saying, into his people. That, that's why he's transitioning to the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, what I'm saying, to fulfill prophecy. And that perpetual hatred he had it so much that he's evil to his own people, and he's putting them in this predicament. But this devil right here, he's in the right spirit to feel that, he should have so-called blacks as slaves because that's part of his blessing. And he's been robbed of it by his own people. What are you doing? On Thursday, Welsh conservatives verified the suspension of Pembrokeshire County Council member Andrew Edwards amid an investigation into the recording. The audio recording initially was made public by the news website Nation Siren. The site did not make clear the origin or the date of the recording. It features a man, other council members identifying, and Edwards saying nothing wrong with the skin color of at all, according to the independent. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with our skin color. There's something wrong with his skin color because he has leprosy. He has the mark of Cain upon him. You know what I'm saying? And that mark was for him to stand out as a people. The Lord took his pigmentation away, and he is just Cain. Esau Edom is just Cain in the reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? So that's a mark placed upon him so he could be identified. Just like the curses were a mark placed upon the nation of Israel as a sign and a wonder to know who the people of the nation of Israel are, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord put a mark or curse upon Cain as well. You know what I'm saying? To take away his pigmentation, to let you know who he is. He's the devil in the flesh. Esau Edom, he has the pigmentation. That's why the scriptures describe him in the scriptures, because they didn't have to describe Jacob because he was born natural. He had a natural skin color. You know what I'm saying? But this devil, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the curse placed upon him. You know? But, no, he's right. There's nothing wrong with the skin color, of you so-called black people. You Jakes out here. There's something wrong with him because he's been cursed with leprosy. You know what I'm saying? Was he has no pigmentation. He's the only nation that has no melanin. You know, because he's cursed. Really knowing. I think all white men should have a black man as a slave or a black woman as a slave. Edwards continued. The Independent reported is nothing wrong with skin color. It's just that they are a lower class than us white people, and that's the narrative that this devil created. But we all know that he's the basis of men, as the scriptures describe him. I'm saying he's a caveman. This devil, he's the lowest of all low of all the nations on the earth. He's the lowest of all low. That shows you that the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, that he took the lowest of men, the basis of men, and put him in a power seat. You know what I'm saying? To rule over all the nations right now. But we at the end of this devil's kingdom. The Lord about to take this devil out. Read knowing. Ed was also elected in May 2022 to represent the ward of Harvard West. Resigned from the Welsh Conservatives group on the council on Tuesday. His party is the opposition in the local government, which since 1996 independent groups have led. I am aware of such serious allegations being made against me, Edwards stated in remarks published on Wednesday. The Independent reported, while confirming he self-referred to the public service ombudsman for an independent evaluation. Edwards said it would be unfair on the process for him to comment further because he's guilty. But you know what I'm saying, the world sees it as something wrong, but truly, you know what I'm saying, in spirit he's in the right spirit because this is his kingdom and he should have slaves because this country, or well, this is Britain, but the Edomites as well, they just branched off, but these so-called America, whatever, you know what I'm saying, just branched off of Great Britain. But we know when this country was at its best was when they had Jake in servitude. You know what I'm saying? When they had free labor, when they raped, robbed, and murdered the Native Americans, and they brought so-called blacks. You know what I'm saying? Or which they deemed to be Africans, which were Israelites, to this land from the west coast of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And enslaved them and got free labor upon them. That's when that was at its best. That's when this country was at its best. When you say make America great again, America was great when they had their necks, these yoke of irons around Jake. You know what I'm saying? And enslaving them and getting free labor. That's when the devil was truly living out his blessing. But his blessing is coming to the end. The Lord pretty much just lighten our sentence now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not in hardcore captivity any longer. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that the Lord is making a transition to take the devil out of his power seat. You know what I'm saying? So, Jake like to go to the defense of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that was then, this is now, slavery, whatever. Some people, whatever, fought for this, whatever. No, you know what I'm saying? It was just, Yahweh Shema Shai lightening the sentence of the nation of Israel, making the transition to take the devil out of his reign. Because you remember, the Lord, he is gradual. You know what I'm saying? Just like he has this devil do things gradually. He works in gradualism. The Lord is gradually bringing this devil down. That's why he is gradually lightening our sentence, coming to this end. You know what I'm saying? Reading on. The Welsh Conservatives leader Andrew R.T. Davis said party members did not share the opinion heard on the tape, the independent reporter. Yeah, they're going to say that, but they all feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? Especially a lot of these politicians, these elites, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They feel that, I mean, even the average, regular Edomite, you know what I'm saying? They may feel that, they might not say it, but that's how they feel, you know what I'm saying? They could get away with having slaves. Why wouldn't they? That's their blessing, you know what I'm saying? But they've been cheated by their own people, you know what I'm saying? This devil who's even to his own, you know what I'm saying, took his people rights, their blessing away of owning, slaves, you know what I'm saying? So for this man to be I mean, I'd rather deal with an Edomite like this, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, for one, he's my enemy, and I understand that. Like, yo, I get it. You know what I'm saying? This is your blessing. You should feel that way. You should want slaves. Nigga, I know you hate me. We're enemies. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, dealing with these snakes, you know what I'm saying? That, they try to say that they like you. Most of these Edomites, you know what I'm saying? They just tolerate Jake. They hate Jake naturally. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way the Lord made it. They hate us, you know? And a lot of them don't know why, but we know why, because we know that they're our enemies. We understand, when you come to the truth, you understand, why this devil took us into slavery, why he hate us because we so-called black. Now he hates us because the Lord naturally made us enemies, you know what I'm saying? It's Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau, you know what I'm saying, all over again, you know what I'm saying? This is who we are as a people, you know what I'm saying? They hate us, not because of our skin color, but, because we're enemies, and that's how the Lord made it to be. That's why that had that spirit upon them, and that Lord is putting that that spirit, that evil Edomite spirit, back upon these devils in these last days, because racial wars are part of end time prophecy, and the Lord is also going to rise up Jake. We're going to be warring with everybody in these streets. You know what I'm saying? And these that, well, not the elected nation Israel. The Lord is going to cover us. Lord willing, amongst that number. But these 2/3 Jakes out here, and these rest of the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? The Lord will bring great judgment upon them. That's why, he got these devils back in that spirit. You know, the views expressed in the recording Davis contended are disgraceful and abhorrent. Yeah, but anyway, a lot of these devils, they feel the same way, man. You know what I'm saying? They just ain't got caught on the recording, but I'm sure they was in agreement with this devil, you know? But anyway, the Lord brought this out and made it to be known, you know what I'm saying, to uh for edification, you know what I'm saying, to let you know, like, when brothers bring videos out like this, to let you know that, this devil's your enemy, you know what I'm saying? And you go and you bring it out, through the scriptures, showed you that this devil, you know what I'm saying, is your enemy. And we going back to Genesis 25 and 22. And the children struggled together within her. And he said, and she said, if it if it if it be so, why am I thus? And she went and inquired of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one shall and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So there you go, you know what I'm saying? With two separate nations in the womb. And from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, we were warring while we were in the womb, because the Lord, you know what I'm saying, made us enemies. You know what I'm saying? That's why they was warring. That's why Rebecca was having so much birth pains due to it. That's why she had to inquire the Lord, because, um, the Lord put two different spirits inside of her, two sets of people, two different nations, you know what I'm saying? And, they made they made them enemies, you know what I'm saying? Which is, Cain and Abel all over again, Esau and Jacob or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And Esau came with that same mark, you know what I'm saying, of leprosy when he was born. We're going to read that. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, and showing you he's the elder. What the scriptures say, the elder should serve the younger. The Lord created this devil to be a servant, a slave, you know what I'm saying? And to be the wicked of the earth, and his whipping sword, and his whipping stick, you know what I'm saying? So it was already preordained, but this devil, he feels that way. The dude Andrew's, uh, it's like, what's his name? What's the name of this devil? Andrew Edwards, right? So this devil, he feels his way because he feels that his blessings has been stolen from him. You know what I'm saying? Which it's been stolen from him, from his own people, to rule doing his kingdom. But he feels that you know feels that Jacob, his brother, stole his blessing. You know what I'm saying? That's why he feels that way. You know what I'm saying? He feels like I should have blacks as, as slaves because that goes back to this right here. You know what I'm saying? That the Lord, had preordained Jacob to receive the blessing. You know what I'm saying? Of, ruling over his brother and his people. You know, and that's why this devil feels this way. You know what I'm saying? Reading on, and after that, and that, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of of Esau's heel, and his name was Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Yeah. So, um, the scriptures gave the description, no, description of Jacob because he was born natural. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to tell you, his um, the color of him because our people already knew. You know what I'm saying? We knew, who we were, and this book was written as uh, a history book or documentation unto us, to go back and um, you know, uh, make reference of, but also the things will be brought to light to us through the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know what I'm saying? That's why He sent the Comforter of the Holy Spirit for us to have the understanding of these scriptures. So now, those that the Lord has awakened, which is also part of end time prophecy. That's how we know we at the end too. You know what I'm saying? With things like this happening, as well as the awakening of the nation of Israel going into Ezekiel 37, which a lot of people got a problem with the 12 chart sign chart or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But that's part of end time prophecy. You know what I'm saying? You see the RFID microchip mark of the beast is on the scene. That's end time prophecy. You see the brewing of World War III. You know what I'm saying? You see that famine is coming into play. Also famine of the word, famine of food, water. This devil, they talk about rationalizing water and all type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And you can see the inflation with cost of food, things, cost of living is going up, rent, housing, all that. You know what I'm saying? Gas prices, all this. You know what I'm saying? Is bringing the downfall of Esau Edom's kingdom. You know, and you see this devil, he's making that transition into the CBDC digital currency. Bringing up, which is going to help usher in, his mark of the beast, showing you, we all at the end. You know, which is just the spirit, you know, the spirit of Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy taking place in these last days. So there you go. You see that, Esau Edom was born, what I'm saying, to be a slave. Because he's the elder brother. He was born to, uh, to serve the younger. And this is Genesis 27:36. And this is, you know, Esau coming back, from hunting, and after Jacob, stole his blessing. But that was, the storyline that the Lord created, because the Lord loves, drama. You know what I'm saying? So He created a scenario to make it seem like, Jacob actually stole his blessing, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was already preordained for Jacob to receive the blessing. But let's start here in Genesis 27:32. And Isaac, his father, said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled. Yeah. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, Woe, where is he that have taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him, ye, and he shall be blessed. And Esau heard the words of his father. He cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me, so me also, my father. And this is why the devil, felt this way about owning black slaves. He want that blessing back of having, that he feels that was taken away from him. You know what I'm saying? Of ruling over his brother. And he said, the brother, thy brother came and with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, it is not the. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And this devil's a liar. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Which he gave up his blessing. So for stew, for pottage, red pottage, it wasn't done. Showing that's why this devil red uncooked meat or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But that's he's a liar. You know what I'm saying? So uh, reading on. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do unto thee, my son? Yeah, so the Lord, Isaac had already blessed Jacob, you know what I'm saying, for him to receive Esau, Edom, and his people as slaves. So that's it right there. This devil, he was born to be a slave. The so-called white man was born to be a slave. But, his high-mindedness, his pride tells him otherwise. That's why he said there's nothing wrong with their color. They just a lower people to him. But the scriptures clearly say that we're a peculiar people above all nations. You know what I'm saying? But, and, he got his blessing here, ruling with the sword. But there's one thing that I wanted to get. So Genesis 27:41, which reads, And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. Yeah, and that's why this devil had this perpetual hatred for us to this day. Okay, because he feels he's been cheated out of his blessing. But surely it was already preordained for him to lose. He's been, the Lord hates him, and he's been chosen to be the wicked of the earth. And, uh, he's the basis of men. And this is Malachi 1:1, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, Wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Yeah, the Lord hates Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's our enemy. And that's what David say, I hate those that hate thee. You know what I'm saying? With a perfect hatred. Just paraphrasing. So, yeah, Esau, Edom hates the Lord and his people. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. We hate these devils. You know what I'm saying? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? And his people, because we're enemies. 2 different nations was in thy womb. The Lord created us to be 2 different nations that hate each other. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to go into servitude, as, is prophesied, in the scriptures. This is Revelations 13:10, which reads, He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This devil led us into captivity, so he's going into captivity. You know what I'm saying? That's just that's balance. That's just how the Lord works. And plus, the Lord created all things for our sakes in the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? we're supposed to rule over all the nations. You know what I'm saying? So in our kingdom, you know, as the scriptures say, the Lord said, "Ask of me, and I should give thee the that I should give thee the heathen as an inheritance." We're going to inherit the heathens, all the heathens. You know what I'm saying? Not just Esau, Edom, but the other nations as well who did us wickedly. But Esau, Edom's going to get the brunt of it, and we're going to rule over them, and they're going to be in servitude. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. It's going to be slavery in the kingdom of heaven, in our kingdom, and it's going to be known. And it's not going to be, you know, no equality shit like that. It's going to be known we at the top, and these other nations are going to have to abide by the law, statute, and commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai, because we're going to be in righteous rule. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these nations, they're going to benefit from it too, of our rulership. You know, they're not going to let, you know, your woman run rampant like this devil does. You know what I'm saying? Your woman could divorce you and take all your money and make you pay child support and just go be with somebody else. No. You know what I'm saying? If she do wickedly of the heathen of these heathen nations, if your woman go off and she do some wicked shit and she go commit adultery, she gonna die. You know what I'm saying? She gonna be put to death. And that's justice. You know what I'm saying? But that's under our righteous rulership. You know what I'm saying? Under a wicked rulership like Esau Edom has, you know what I'm saying? That's not so, you know. But, you know, continue on. This is Amos, you know, 9:11. You know what I'm saying? It shows you the restoration of Israel. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen. It's like and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh, that does this. Yeah, so the Lord, you know what I'm saying, is going to allow us to possess the remnant, you know what I'm saying, of Edom. You know what I'm saying? For what they've done to us. So they're going to have to pay. You know, this is part of our, you know, us receiving our salvation. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is going to save us from our enemies and give them as an inheritance to us as part of our blessing, as part of us receiving our salvation. To get our get back on our enemies. In fact, let's jump back down. Let's go to stop up here. Isaiah 14:1, which reads, "For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them." And the strangers are the Israelite foreigners. That's what this is going into, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And that's what we're doing now. We're cleaving to the house of Jacob. We're coming back into our fold. We're coming back to the true ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, practicing, you know, the ways of our forefathers. You know what I'm saying? Us Israelite foreigners, the strangers coming back into the fold. Be knowing, and the people shall take them and bring them to their. Now this is going into us taking the other nations into captivity. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Yeah. And who's our oppressor? Who's our number one oppressor right here in this day of time? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? We're being oppressed by him. You know, that's what the scriptures go into in Jeremiah, that Judah and Israel should be oppressed together, which we are in these last days. This is our last captivity. We're being oppressed together by our enemy, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, our oppressor. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're gonna, you know, possess, you know what I'm saying, all the heathens that had us in possession. All these nations are gonna pay. But, you know, Esau, Edom just gotta, you know, go and get the, you know, the worst of it. The Lord said He's gonna pay them back double. This is Obadiah. This is the day of the Lord in the future. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return unto thy own head. All of what you've done to Esau, Edom, is going to return into your own head. You took us into slavery, you know what I'm saying? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the nation of Israel, the apple of the Lord's eye, and did treacherously unto us. It's going to be done the same unto you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to return upon your own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, which is the nation of Israel, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Ye, yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. The Lord is going to deliver us from our enemies. He's going to the nation of Israel, Mount Zion. We're going to be delivered. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, which is, the northern and the southern kingdom. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any more remaining of the house of Esau. For Yahweh has spoken it. Yeah, the Lord is going to completely, obliterate you. We're going to, after 1,000 years of servitude, you're going to be destroyed from the earth. Matter of fact, I meant to get one more thing from Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? Going with that, the precept. This is Isaiah 14:21, which reads, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will raise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh." And that's talking about Esau. The Lord is going to, completely cut him off. You know what I'm saying? He's going to take his people out. You're going to, after 1,000 years of servitude, you're going to be destroyed. And that's what you read at Obadiah. You know what I'm saying? That we're going to, let's get it one more time, because I don't want to butcher it. It says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and there shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it." That's why the Lord said he's going to cut off son and nephew. You're going to be completely destroyed. The wickedness is going to be taken out of the earth. You know what I'm saying? After your 1,000 years of hardcore labor, hardcore servitude in the kingdom of heaven, the Lord's going to wipe you out as a people. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be, destroyed, and the Lord may just make your spirit among the other nations, but, you're going to be made an example of. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Lord's coming, when the Lord comes to rescue us, out of, this captivity. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's, is going to make an example of you. That's why he allowed you to rule in these last days. You know what I'm saying? If you go into Romans, 9, it tells you that, you're the modern day Pharaoh, and the Lord put you in power just to make an example of you. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord hates you. The so-called white man, the Lord hates. You know what I'm saying? And, so pretty much that's why this devil, Andrew Edwards, you know what I'm saying, from Britain or whatnot, felt that, so-called white men should own black slaves, because he wants that blessing back. You know what I'm saying? That he feels been stripped of him or stolen away from him by his brother Jacob, but actually it's really been taken away from you by your own people. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your kingdom currently, and you should have your enemies as slaves. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you call truly being blessed. But you had your time to have us as slaves, but the Lord has, had mercy upon, you know, um, um, Jacob. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said he chose to have mercy upon who he had mercy. He has mercy upon us and has lightened our sentence. You know what I'm saying? In these last days, to make that transition of us, our kingdom coming in and your kingdom going out. Because Esau Edom is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Because it's a new beginning when we take over our kingdom. Because we're going to be rulers of the earth, of all the universe, and we're going to rule it righteously. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be under righteous rule then. So that's what we're waiting for. So we're hoping that this devil come down with great wrath, bring his mark of the beast, or already microchip into play, because these things bring upon our salvation. But that's pretty much it. I just hope this lesson is edifying. So they call Halaya Habashim Shai, Karma Shwala, Abba Baba, Shabbat Shalom.